どこか違う階層に連れてこられた。それじゃあここはホワイトパレス。ここは真相。
All right, my friends. So here we are, the final episode of DanMachi of Core Number 1 until the return of DanMachi in winter season for the continuation for Core Number 2. And this episode, I was really thinking, I just got done watching it like 3 minutes ago, and I was really thinking like, okay, how are we going to start this video? So we're going to start it like this. And there is a lot to love about this episode, and there is a lot to not love about this episode. And part of me is completely satisfied, and part of me is completely unsatisfied by the fact that this is the last episode that we got, and we have to wait until the winter season for a continuation. Now, the winter season is going to occur somewhere between the end of December and January of 2023. So we have, around 3 to 4 months before we get the continuation of this story that they just kind of built us up for, and they completely cut us off, right? It's like getting to getting to the best part of the 12 pack and then, cutting yourself off before you get that really cool buzz, right? So here's kind of where I'll start. I'm going to start off with kind of like the satisfied, the really cool parts of this episode. And I think the main piece of satisfaction that I really truly had this episode was the fact that Jura finally died. I was hooting and hollering for Jura to die, and I was like, I need to see this man die. And, he ended up trying to control the Juggernaut exactly like he wanted to, exactly like he had planned to, and it completely backfired on him, and the Juggernaut completely just ripped him in half, took him out, and Ryu got to see this dude die. Good for her. And Belle got to see Jura die as well. Good for him as well. So I was like, yes, Jura, death to the Jura. So that was probably the most satisfying part of the episode. The other satisfying part of the episode, I thought they brought it home towards the end of the episode. I thought the build-up at the end of the episode was absolutely fantastic. We flash back at Belle talking to his handler. I don't remember what her name is. I should remember it because I know she has a crush on him, blah, blah, blah. But he's talking to his handler inside of the guild, and she was like, there is a place in the 37th floor you're never going to see. It is for first-class adventurers, and even they have trouble going down to these deep, deep floors. It's called the White Palace. Everything is white, and, it's dark, but it's white. And if you see it, good effing luck, dude. And he finds out that that's exactly where he is, so we could kind of like demise that, okay, yeah, he's on the 37th floor with Ryu. He's totally effed up. He's messed up, and he is just like all effed up because he just got out of the belly of the snake, the lumber ball, or whatever the hell the snake's names are. But he just got out of the belly of the snake because the snake heeded to Jura's last call to destroy Lion, which is Ryu, and to destroy Belle. And he came out of nowhere, and he took them down to deep floors. Snake dead. He gone. No problemo there. But he is heavily effed up. Like, he is all burnt up, and so is Ryu. And now, not only is the Juggernaut coming after him, because the Juggernaut's pissed that this snake ended up taking his prey, so he's coming after him hardcore. And he could travel through floors and stuff too, but now he has to worry about all the variety of enemies that is just by nature of being on the deep floors. And then the dungeon's freaking out as well too. So I thought that was absolutely excellent. I thought the build-up towards the end of the episode was really, really good. I'm really unsatisfied, and I'll talk about my unsatisfication of the episode and kind of what I didn't like about the episode in a little bit. But part of, just a little hint, part of that was the fact that they build us up and then just to cut us off. And now we have to wait months and months to get this continuation of the story, where I was really hoping that they were going to wrap up this little arc that we have here. I was hoping that they would wrap it up between episode 10 and 11, and then the next core we could move on to the next thing, whatever that next thing is in the story, but that's obviously not what happened. I also really love his fight with the Juggernaut. I love that he started to get smart. He started to smart up. He ended up using the Goliath scarf as kind of like a shield, so he wrapped it around his arm, A, not to lose it again, and B, so that way he could kind of like parry and dodge the minute the Goliath. That way he could dodge and weave the Juggernaut. I'm trying to say like 9 things at once because I'm a little bit ahead of my thoughts. And he was able to kind of to do that. I love how he called out the Minotaur. He called out Eyes that, hey, these two would never ever give up in these situations, so I'm not gonna do that either. He used that knowledge to kind of like really put into effect. Okay, here's what my plan is, and Ryu freaked the F out. But he basically used his firebolt attacks. He knew that it was gonna be sent back to him. He uses his knife, his weapon, to absorb the attacks, and then he uses his best move, Argo Vesta, which was sick. That whole entire scene was absolutely fire. It was absolutely dope. I was so I was all into it. The fact that it didn't work, I wasn't surprised by that, but it was still like such a good, Sakuga, scene that I was completely absorbed in, and I thought it was just absolutely dope and just absolutely fire. Completely enjoyed watching that fight and seeing him bust out the Argo Vesta stuff again. So I thought that was completely awesome. And then the last thing that I liked that I wasn't really sure of, and this is and again, I'm going to talk about unsatisfaction that I had of the episode, but one thing that I was pretty satisfied with was Cassandra's continuation of her prediction of her vision that she had of everything happening. I like this one that they held close to their chest with, are they going to go and get effed up on the 27th floor? Is there some other kind of stake? And it comes to find out that the party's, livelihoods are on the line because now they have to fight this 2-headed dragon monster that's called the Monster Rex of the 27th floor. And it has now come down to the 25th, or I say gone up, I should say, to the 25th floor. To go and face Cassandra and to go and face, Lily and Wolf and all of them. And I think that now that is pretty high stakes for them, too. And they cut us off right there, too, when they are now in facing, eye to eye or eye to eyes of this double dragon, which is really, really dope. And I like that twist because even I was not expecting another enemy for them. I was expecting them to say F it on Cassandra and beeline it for wherever Belle would end up being. Also, when the ground started shaking, I thought maybe Belle and Ryu were gonna, fall into or something to them, and that wasn't the case. So I thought that was really cool stuff. All right, let's spend the last couple minutes of unsatisfaction. So if you love this episode way too much, you love this anime way too much, and you get angered by, triggered by, someone being critical. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and just hop off now, like the video before you leave. Okay, here's what I didn't like. So, we have the start of the episode, and I'll try to make this really quick. We had the start of the episode with the arm flying off. I don't know who else did it, but I laughed when Belle's arm flew off. I didn't think it was really that well done, regardless. Last week I talked about predictability, about what's going to happen. Exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. I'm one for enjoying getting predictions right, but at the same time, when it's so obvious of what's going to happen, it makes it very unenjoyable. And I was literally like, he's going to fall into the water, the mermaid go and kiss him up, and he go heal his arm, and he's going to come back to action. And almost pound for pound, that's exactly what ended up happening. So literally no suspense, no nothing happened there. It was like exactly what I thought. So that I was completely unsatisfied with that. Regardless, he's the hero. We know something like that's going to happen anyway, some kind of shenanigans. But the fact that it just went down exactly like I thought, I was like, okay, that is a little poo-poo to me. But regardless, it was what it was, is what it is. With Jura's death, I called it last week too. I was like, okay, Jura's going to try and control this monster. He's going to fail. He's going to die. I was satisfied that he died. I was unsatisfied the fact that he died in the exact manner that I thought. Then the next thing with Ryu, we knew she was going to fail, and kind of like go up against the Juggernaut. That was predictable, but it wasn't really that bad. And then my other prediction was that they weren't going to complete this fight, that they were going to hold off for the winter, and that's exactly what happened too. So I made it pretty quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on digging into all those things, but all those things kind of made me really unsatisfied with this episode. Overall, I think the good outweigh the bad for sure, but there was still like a 60-40 split to where 60% was like freaking dope and awesome, and 40% was like, oh, okay, yeah, we knew this was going to happen kind of thing, including this huge buildup, and then, wait for the winter, and it's kind of one of the things to where it's like, okay, depending what winter comes, this may or may not be on someone's list. But this was the end of the season, and if you're still here, I appreciate you sticking with me all season long for this core 1 of DanMachi. It's been an awesome ride. Some good and some bad. Not a perfect season, but a really good one. I would say overall way better than season 3 in my opinion. I would say easy 8.5 out of 10. Really good season so far, and I can't wait to see what comes in the winter because I am now invested in what's going to happen. All right, my friends, it's been an awesome ride. Check out what anime I'm covering in the fall in the videos right now, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.